Nobody could even tell you. Art street இருந்திருந்தா at least.
அவர் பாவம் ஒருத்தர் ரெடியா உட்காந்துருக்காருங்க பேக் ட்ராப் எல்லாம் போட்டு.
Can somebody give me a pencil?
Mute.
Vaishnavi, can we start the session?
Yes, Shakti, we can start the session. I think they've gone on mute. Very good morning to everyone present on Zoom, as well as members and people, others who are watching us on A very good morning to everyone present here, and also others who are watching us on YouTube and Facebook Live. Welcome to All About Coimbatore's 24/7 water supply project. Our corporation, Coimbatore Corporation, has come up with a very good initiative of supplying water to all of the residents of Coimbatore 24/7. And this session will help us to know get to know more about the project, how the corporation is going to enable the projects, the areas, the localities that the water supply is going to be given to. And to speak more about this, we have Mr. Gopal Krishnan, who's a team leader, IE cum PMC for Coimbatore 24/7 water supply project, formerly chief engineer of TWAD board. Sir, we are really looking forward to listen from you on aspects on how the water supply is going to be given to Coimbatore. So over to you, Mr. Gopal Krishnan.
Thank you, Ms. Varsini. Coimbatore a project to supply water continuously throughout the day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week is on. Now, I would, but there have been a lot of discussions, distractions in the social media on this project. So, I thank the Coimbatore Villa organizers for giving me an opportunity to clear all the doubts or all the misgivings about the project. Let us start with a question most commonly asked by the general public. I'll start with that. Do we need 24-hour continuous water supply? Are we not managing with the supply at present supply of few hours a day or a week? Why do we need 24-hour water supply? Let us begin with that. Now, primary function of any local authority is to supply protected water supply to its citizen. So one of the protected water supply is defined by, please start the presentation.
Screen sharing enabled faster. Vaishnavi.
Vaishnavi,
Yes, sir.
please enable screen sharing.
Yeah, sure.
Dhanikoti. Hello. Is the presentation visible? Vaishnavi?
Yes, sir, it's visible. Please go ahead.
Yeah, please. Now, why 24/7 water supply? Definition of a safe water supply is, next. See, this is Manual on Water Supply and Treatment of Government of India. This is the Bible for all water authorities across the country. This defines public protected water supply system is to supply safe and clean water in adequate quantity, conveniently, and as economical as possible. Now, what we are getting? We are getting water a few hours a day, maybe on alternate days, or even in some cases once in a week. Can we call it satisfies the Government of India CPHEO guidelines? Next. Now, the pipe is full only for a few hours in a day or in a week. We cannot have a pipe have a system without any leak. So the leak water re-enters the pipe during non-supply hours along with external pollutant. So this we cannot claim it to be safe, even though we spend crores of rupees in constructing big water treatment plant and lakhs of rupees in treating it, ensuring that minimum residual chlorine 0.2 parts per million is available in the water when it reaches the distribution system, everything. Still, because of the external pollutant re-entering the pipe during non-supply hours, water cannot be claimed to be safe. For the same reason, it is not clean as well. Next. Okay, now what is convenience in water supply? Convenience in water supply is availability of water when the consumer needs it. When he feels like having water, water should be available on the tap. But what's happening now? We are supplying water at the convenience of the authority, not of the consumer. It is common for supplying water in the odd hours, say midnight 1 to 4, or during day, afternoon 1 to 5, or something like that. And also water is supplied only few hours, in some cases even once in a week. There are areas which gets water once in 15 days as well, but not in Coimbatore. Next. Adequate. What is adequate? Adequate is, it should be demand based. We should be able to supply water what the consumer needs. Government of India norm says for a city with 1 million population and above, provided with underground drainage system, should have 135 liters per capita per day. But our distribution is supply based, not demand based. We say this is so much of water available, you take it whatever you get. The location of the consumer, maybe at a higher level or a lower level, proximity to the water tank, everything decides the water received by him. So we are not supplying adequate to water to all our citizens. Next. Now, at least it claims as economically as possible. It did not say as safe as possible or as adequate as possible, but as economical as possible. Now, requirement of a day or a week is supplied in few hours. That means our system capacity is much larger. It's 40 times or more. And we need number of valves to regulate the supply to different streets. For operating the valves, we need additional manpower. So both capital cost and operating cost, both are higher in an intermittent system than that would have been required in a continuous 24-hour supply system. Now, a consumer gets water for a few hours. What he does for the rest of the day? He has to construct storage structures, underground tank, sump, overhead tank. He has to pump the water. He has to consume electricity. So storage structures at consumer premises is required. In addition, because water is not safe, they have to use water doctor, zero B, etc., etc. Even we ourselves advise the consumers boil the water before drinking. Does the energy for boiling is available free? So it is not economic, it is not safe, it is not clean, it is not convenient, it is not adequate, it is not economical as well. The intermittent water supply does not satisfy any of the criteria specified by the manual. But why the situation is like that? Just for the information, all the systems are designed only for 24 hours shift distribution. There is no design for intermittent system. But unfortunately, during maintenance, due to shortage of resources, maybe manpower, maybe finance, maybe equipments, materials, etc., we are not able to maintain our system as per the design criteria. So when a leak occurs, we lose water. To minimize the loss of water, hours of supply is reduced. This vicious circle is going on for the many decades now. So even though system is designed for 24-hour water supply, during maintenance, it deteriorates to an intermittent system ranging from few hours a day to few hours a week. One more thing, because of this not adhering to the design parameters, ad hoc changes are made in the distribution infrastructure. This results in absence of as-built drawings or consumer database, which results in high unaccounted for water. By unaccounted for water, the difference between the quantity of water produced and the quantity of water billed is huge, and this local authority not realizing adequate revenue to maintain the system. So we get trapped in a vicious circle. Next. I don't think we can skip this. So to overcome this, Government of India during early 2000, that is 2005 and all, thought we have to correct this system and started introducing 24-hour water supply in selected pockets of many cities across the country. It varied from Malviya Nagar of New Delhi, Gundurao Nagar of Mysore, similarly in Mumbai, Kolkata, selected small pockets. And also in the Karnataka Urban Water Supply and Sewerage Board introduced in small towns across the western coast, nearer to the western coast, Hubli, Dharwad, Davanagere, Belgaum, and all those things. Everywhere it was done in the selected small pockets in any given town. Based on that experience, the government decided we can attempt it on a big city, a full city. During 2011, Pillur 2 water supply, dedicated water supply scheme to Coimbatore was commissioned. So Coimbatore was getting about 200 million liters of water per day. 125 million liters from Pillur 2 and 75 million liters from Sirvani, with a population of around 13 to 15 lakhs. That resulted in a supply data of 150 liters per capita per day against the manual requirement of 135 LPCD. In spite of availability of adequate water, the city continued to have intermittent system of alternate supply or once in 4 days, unlike that. To correct that, this project was taken up. A consultant was appointed for preparing the estimate for providing 24 system. Fisner Consultants did it during 2008. And for this project, bid process, transaction advisor, Infra in India Limited was awarded with the work. Based on this tender process, bid process, the work has been awarded to Soyuz Projects Private Limited, Gurgaon. I'll come to the why so yes and all those things in my next slides. Now the project duration is study period 1 year, work period 4 years, construction period, operation and maintenance is 21 years or 4 plus 21, 25 years including the construction period. The project scope included designing and rehabilitation of the existing structure, construction the new infrastructure, feeder mines, pipelines, distribution pipelines, service reservoirs, etc. And also renewing all the house service connections, providing meters, valves, and also billing, meter reading, billing, collection, everything. The scope of the project includes everything. Now we'll go by one. Okay, please. The project cost is 646.71 crores for capital cost and 2,325.45 crores for O&M, making a total of 2,972.15. This has been taken up under the Amrut program of Government of India. Government of India contributes 166.99 crores. A matching grant from Government of Tamil Nadu is 101.21 crores. Then Tamil Nadu Infrastructure Development Board, because this is taken up under the public-private partnership mode, they are giving a loan of 66.8 crores. Luckily, when this project was initiated, Coimbatore Smart City project was taken. So the cost of infrastructure in the ABD area of Coimbatore Smart City program was taken up as the CCMC share of investment, convergence fund. That makes 150.73 crores. So hardly 5% of the total project cost has to be incurred by the Coimbatore City Municipal Corporation, rest of which comes as a grant or loan from different sources. Next. The project area is now the project is implemented only in the old city area, pre-2011 Coimbatore city. In the year 2011, area of city was expanded by merging adjacent local bodies, town panchayats and municipalities with the corporation. Kalapatti, Saranambatti, Vellakkanari, Kaundambalayam, Vadavalli, Kurichi, Kudiyamuttu, Tudiyulu, they were merged with the Coimbatore corporation. City area became 250 square kilometer, but this project is implemented only in the old city area, that is 72 wards prior to 2011. At present, Coimbatore city has totally 100 wards. 60 of that 100 wards is getting, the project is being implemented. The contract for the project was signed on 8th January 2018. Let us take that is the takeoff date. Next. Wait. Now I'll answer a few questions. Why 24/7? I answered earlier. Why SUES? Why the work was given to a multinational company? Now, the Coimbatore city has 150,000 house service connections. In the pre-qualification for the selecting the contractor, a pre-qualification criteria was specified. The bidders should have experience in maintaining at least 50,000 house service connection with continuous water supply for a period of at least 1 year. Of course, none of the cities in India have continuous water supply. Obviously, we have to get contractors from outside India only. So there was a competition. Two firms participated in the bid process. Messrs. SUES Projects Private Limited, a multinational company which is operating in a number of countries across the globe and well experienced in the water supply sector was awarded with the work. They have been awarded the work at a minus bid percentage. They have quoted less than the estimate cost. Now, one more thing. The project, usually we prepare a bill of quantities and invite bids. In this case, Fissner's estimate was projected as a guide, indicative thing. We made the consumer, the contractor, to study the city and design the infrastructure using the Fissner's estimate as a baseline. So for which 1 year time was awarded. Based on that, they designed the system and they have to complete the system designed by them in the next 4 years. Then they have to maintain it for the next 21 years. Okay. Now let us come. Why such a long period? In many cases, we give the maintenance guarantee for periods ranging from 1 year to maximum of 7 years. In this case, we have made it 25 years total project duration, including study period, it is 26 years. We have been experimenting with this concept for more than a decade in across many towns across the country. In those places, after the main contractor left the scene, the distribution was back to square one. It reverted back to intermittent supply. Our water authorities could not maintain that continuous water supply. So we thought of the project should have longer maintenance period so that it can stabilize and the authority will gain experience in maintaining the system. Then private participation. As part of this project, the contractor is expected to invest 20% of the capital cost. But that capital cost, he will be instructed investing during the construction period, 4 years. At the end of the 4th year, at the end of the construction, he will be paid 80% of his quoted price. Balance 20% will be reimbursed to him during the O&M period, spread over the next 21 years. This is required, like in other cities. If suppose the contractor leaves the project in the middle, we may not be fine because many of the design or proprietary in nature, we may find it difficult. So just to bind them to the project for the logical end, the 21-year continuous maintenance period, the 20% of the capital cost will be reimbursed during the O&M period. So this is the basic thing about the project criteria modalities. Now, as part of the study period, the study activities done by them will be shown as a video now. To start with, we procure satellite image of the city with an accuracy of 1 centimeter is equal to 30 centimeter. On all the properties within the city were identified. They have been assigned with unique ID numbers. Then ground cross verification was done with a GPS enabled tab. The surveying person can make data entry when only he is at the premises. And as part of the survey, even the photograph of the building, the photograph of the person who is providing the data, everything was recorded and they formed part of the database. The collected info, in addition, it was the properties were labeled They have been updated in the geographical information system. Again, topographic survey was made with a digital global positioning system enabled survey instruments. Existing infrastructure were assigned. Walkthrough survey for ascertaining the existing system was made. Buried pipes were identified using electronic pipe locators, and they have been marked on the ground and updated on the GIS system. So existing infrastructure is completely integrated in the GIS, including the supply pattern. Quantity of water received was measured using ultrasonic flow instruments. Information on water quality was also collected at the reservoir and as well as at the consumer end. So with the database, complete system was designed by the concessionaire. Based on that, they prepared an estimate saying that we need 793 crores for capital expenditure for creating the infrastructure required for 24/7 water supply system. But one of the big parameter was he has to quote for the capital cost, and his estimate was limited to the cap of 646.71 crores quoted by him during the bid process. Go back to the presentation. So, key performance indicators forming part of the contract is concessionaire has to provide continuous supply throughout the day with a minimum pressure of 7 meters at the fuel point at the consumer end. 7 meters approximately 20 feet. That means water can reach the first floor of the house. And also the concessionaire has to establish customer service centers for collecting the consumer complaints. 80% of the complaints should be resolved within a specified time frame. And also, now in the part of concession, the agreement, concessionaire is responsible for water supply to him at the outlet of the master service reservoir. He has to deliver the pipe to the water to the consumers. The difference in water quantity, unaccounted water, from the water handed over to the concessionaire and total quantity billed should not exceed 20% during the first 5 to 10 years of operation and should not exceed 15% after 11th year. That means water lost through leaks or meter inaccuracy or by any other way cannot be more than 15%. Then the water quality he has to ensure 100% the samples are as per the quality requirements. Again, meter reading, billing and collection is also entrusted to the concessionaire. During the first 10 years, 80% of the billed quantity should have been collected, and the balance 15 years, 90% collection efficiency he has to show. In the contract, there are penalty and incentive clauses for achieving these key performance indicators. Now the key aspects, many of this I have already explained. In any private thing, ownership of the infrastructure will be transferred to the private party. But in this case, the contract clearly specifies ownership of the project facilities lies with the authority, which is Coimbatore City Municipal Corporation. Operator is only responsible for the services and works without any ownership transfer. He has quoted a price required by him for operating. He will be paid for that by the authority. The contractor, that is SOES, has no say on water tariff. Water tariff will be fixed by the City Municipal Corporation as per the guidelines of the Government of Tamil Nadu. Operator is only responsible for collection of the water user charges on behalf of the authority. That is, bills will be in the name of the authority only. The concessionaire is providing services of taking water from the master service reservoir to the consumer, for which he is paid as per the his quoted bid price. Based on the satisfactory performance, he will be paid on a staggered annuity model. Of course, penalty and incentive clauses are there. Just for information, entire contract documents, including the bid evaluation report, is available on our website ccmc.gov.in under Coimbatore 24/7 water supply link. Okay, why 24/7, why SOES, why 25 years? I have already answered. These are the common questions raised by the public. Do we have enough water for a 24/7 water supply? Water requirement of a continuous water supply system is at least 10% to 30% less than the water required for an intermittent water supply system. Based on the experience in implementing the program in different areas of the country, as I said earlier, Delhi, Mumbai, Belgaum, Davanagari, etc., continuous water supply saves water and requires lesser water things. The reason is, in an intermittent system, many of the leaks are not attended immediately because water is supplied only after 4 days or after 3 days. So it does not, the leak flow does not hinder or get the notice. We are losing number of water. Similarly, consumers tend to waste water under the intermittent system. When new water arrives, the old water is thrown away. And also, the meters are not working, meter billing is not properly done. So there is no compulsion on the part of the consumer to economize his water consumption. As I said earlier, Coimbatore city is getting more than the Government of India guideline of 135 liters per capita per day. So 24/7 water supply is available if the infrastructure is created, sturdy infrastructure is created and better maintained. Water supply implemented in India, yes, only on bits and pieces in small pockets of different areas. Coimbatore is the first city to have it. But again, in the case of Coimbatore also, we are supplying water only to the old city area, pre-2011 area. Why? The concept took almost a decade to result in a work award. In 2008, we started the exercise. In 2011, city was expanded. If suppose we have to redesign the old system, it is going to take another 1 more decade. So it was decided, as per the FISNER's estimate, we will introduce 24/7 only to the old city area and extend it later to the added areas. The water availability, right, the system is designed for 2044 population. So For 2044, we need more water, for which Pillar 3 scheme is already in progress. By the time this project, 24/7 project, commercial operation will begin in 2023. By that time, Pillar 3 project would have been completed. We will have enough water till 2044. Now, what is the role of the consumer? So yes, there is a huge misinformation that operation is privatized. Coimbatore system has been sold to foreigners, etc., etc. No, the water distribution will continue to be under the control and will continue to be the responsibility of the city municipal corporation. Giving new connections will be done only by the under the directions of the city municipal corporation only. SUES is only an agency acting under the control and on behalf of the city municipal corporation. They have no role on fixing water authority, no role on providing new connections, no role on disconnecting the old connections, etc. Everything will be done only by the city municipal corporation. One more thing. Will the public taps continue? Yes. The public taps are two categories. One is borewell water public taps in almost entire project area, and there are some public taps for the Sirvani and Pillar water as well. The borewell water supply is outside the scope of the contract. So yes, has no say on that. CCMC will continue to provide the borewell water supply through public taps in the entire project area. Regarding the public taps for Sirvani and Pillar water, drinking water, they will continue. Only thing is they will also be metered, and the total consumption will be accounted for by the CCMC, City Municipal Corporation. Okay. Now, is the project beneficial to the poor and downtrodden? Now, we are supplying water, let us say once in 4 days. How do we manage for the rest of the 3 days? We have big sumps, water tanks, motors, everything. But how about the poor people living in huts and the small houses? They have to store water in the pots. They have to run around to meet their daily needs of the water. But under 24/7, the need for storage structures is eliminated. It is more beneficial to the people who cannot afford big sumps and water tanks. Water will be available on the tap round the clock. So their orders for such of water during non-supply days will end. Will water tariff be revised? Water tariff will remain the same for the project area and also the added area. Now, during the past 1 year maintenance, we have found that almost 50% of the water meters are not working. And also, water is not accounted for. That is the quantity of water. We are supplying almost 150 to 160 million liters of water per daily to the citizens, out of which billed quantity is less, around 60 to 70% of the supplied quantity only. With this new system, all the water will be accounted for, and the corporation's revenue will increase. So there may not be any need for revising the water tariff. Okay, now I'm throwing the floor for discussion. You can audience, if any, they can post their queries. screen display is there.
Just put me down.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I just have one question, sir. In case of excessive water usage, because let's say that water is being misused by certain people at for some commercial purposes, will you be monitoring and restricting that as well?
The Coimbatore Corporation Water Supply Bylaw provides water supply for both domestic and non-domestic users. All the water supply will be metered and billed for as per the existing bylaw. The water tariff is different for domestic consumers and non-domestic consumers. So whatever is consumed by the consumer, either domestic or commercial, will be billed for accordingly. Naturally, there will be some attempt on the side of the consumer to optimize his water consumption.
Okay, sir. Thank you. When can we expect it to start? Like, let's say in what 23 is, sir? I know that the connections were given even yesterday. So when will it officially start? Has it in certain wards in a face-by-face way or?
Yes, we have old corporation area, old city area that consists of 60 wards, and we will be already there are 36 old service reservoirs are available. We will be constructing 32 more. In the 68 reservoir command areas, each distribution zone will be divided into district metering area. About 108 district metering area. We are going on stage by stage. We started with Oraspuram. Almost Oraspuram has been the pipeline works have been completed. Now we are in the process of transferring the house service connections from the old system to the new system. Similarly, we have completed some works along Perur Road, Charan Nagar, Jairam Nagar, and like that. Along Tiruchi Road, SHS Colony, Annai Velangani. So it is going on phase by phase. We plan to complete the entire city by year 2023 August.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? Okay.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
Rajiv, go ahead.
Could you elaborate on the issue with the drawing borewell water, because this seemed to be something that was questioned time and again?
Borewell water is totally outside the scope of this contract. This contract is exclusively for supplying drinking water supplied by the corporation to the concessionaire at the master service reservoir. One more, incidentally, thank you for reminding me. The scope of the contract is only for distributing the water within the city area. The production and transmission facilities, that is treating the water, bringing it from Sirvani or Pillur to the city continues to lie with the existing agencies, either Tamil Nadu Water Supply and Drainage Board or Coimbatore Corporation. Borewell water is totally outside scope of this contract. They will continue to be, whatever is the present situation, it will continue.
Thank you.
There are some queries in the chat. There is a query by Karthik Madhavan. Since Suez is responsible for supplying water given by the corporation, what happens if corporation itself giving less than, of course, the scope is only for the water supplied by the corporation, and we have created a system in which actually the shortage will occur only in the case of Sirvani water. Sirvani water is totally monsoon dependent, whereas the river Bhavani or Pillur water is perennial and water is available round the year. So these two systems are interconnected. During the monsoon or the winter season, what Sirvani will be supplied to the project area during dry season, that is the summer. Water from Pillur system will be transferred to the Sirvani area and the entire project will get water. That part of the scope of the contract. Muthu how the water charges will be changed for houses in apartments. At present, the Coimbatore City Corporation bylaws as a provision for bulk water supply to the apartments and also for the individual houses. Existing bylaws will continue. There is no change on that. Everything, only if Coimbatore City Municipal Corporation has every authority to make changes if any required, but that is not in the scope of the contract. There's one more question, seems.
Okay.
Roger Segaran G, can you elaborate operation and maintenance of the system for 20 years by COS, since you are giving huge amount for that? What are the services to be provided by the contractor? Thank you, Roger Segaran. The scope of the contract includes distributing the water through the system infrastructure created to the consumers and also a supervisory control system, SCADA system, computer-based, forms part of the contract. I mentioned about 108 district metering area. Each district metering area will be provided with at least 3 critical monitoring points, CMP. In these points, pressure in the system and also flow to the system, level in the water tanks, everything will be monitored continuously online in the control room, specially built by where I am sitting. These are all were absent. So the cost, as far as the cost is concerned, during the bidding process, SUES has quoted lesser price, that is minus tender, while the EPC price was plus percentage and net is minus tender. This 2,300 is 25 years. When you take into account price escalation, what is the expenditure incurred by the corporation at present? It is not huge.
Any more
Any other-
questions, anybody? You can post in the chat box if you have any questions. Sir, I think that's the questions that we've got. So thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us and giving us more details on how the water supply project for Coimbatore 24/7 supply project is going to be enabled for all the residents of Coimbatore. We got really valid informations. We had some doubts in our minds. I think it was all clear, and the videos, how the data was collected and how it's geographically positioned in the satellite and how the details are corrected. So we thank you so much for coming and sharing information. And we also thank Coimbatore Corporation, who's always been a support for us in organizing a lot of events and come forward and supporting us in all the Coimbatore villas and the events that we organize. So thank you so much, Mr. Gopal Krishnan, for sharing us information. And we look forward for getting our water supply 24/7 by 2023. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Coimbatore Villa team, for giving us an opportunity to taking the information to the citizens of Coimbatore. Thank you very much.